Hey everyone, let's go over the part 2s for the final. So for here we have Olivia saves the same amount of money each month in her bank's savings account. The amount of money she saved after a different number of months is shown in the table below. So on the left hand side we have X, which is the number of months that she's saving, and then on the right we have Y, which is the total amount that she has saved. For part A it says determine the rate of change. The rate of change is the slope. So that means I need 2 points. I'm just going to take the first two. It doesn't matter because it told us they're saving the same amount each month. We know it's linear. So with a slope, I need 2 points. I have the point 3, 400, and then I have the point 5, 800. Now with the slope, if I look at the formula, it says y minus y over x minus x. Now technically it does say the second coordinate minus the first, and then the second minus the first for the x on the bottom as well. So I'm just going to say 800, the second coordinate for y, minus 400, which is the first y, over 5 minus 3. Now up top, when I do 800 minus 400, I get 400. 5 minus 3 is 2. When I take 400 and divide by 2, my slope is 200. So that means she is saving $200 each month. Now for part B, it says determine the y-intercept. The y-intercept is your b value. That occurs whenever x equals 0. So if I look at the bottom right here, where it says the equation of a line is y equals mx plus b, I'm going to plug in x and y values and the m that I just solved in order to get the b. So I'm just going to take the first point. It doesn't matter which one you use. So 3, 400, and I'm going to use my m, which was 200. So in my equation, I have a y equals mx plus b. My y value is 400 when the x is 3. My b is what I'm looking for. And we just solved for an m, which is 200. So from here, what I'm going to do is plug those values into y equals mx plus b so I could solve for b. My y value is 400. My m we just said was 200. My x value is 3 plus b, so I'm going to bring down the 400 because I can't simplify that side, but I have 200 times 3, which is 600, plus b. To get rid of the 600 that's being added to the b, I'm going to subtract that over, and my b value is negative 200. So my y-intercept is negative 200. Now, I know that doesn't really make too much sense in the context of the problem, but that is the correct answer. Now, for the last part, we're just going to put that all together. The equation of the line is y equals mx plus b. My m is 200, x, and my b value is a negative 200, so minus 200. For that second question, it says solve the following equation for x. So I'm just going to bring down my 13x and 35 on the left-hand side because I can't simplify, but on the right-hand side, I can distribute out the 3. So 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 5 is 15. Now from here, I have variables on both sides, so I'm going to bring over this 3x by subtracting it because it's the inverse operation. 13 minus 3 is a 10x minus 35 equals 15. Now from here, I add over the 35 to bring my constants to the other side. And I have 10x equals 50. To get rid of the 10 that's being multiplied, now I divide out. And we get x equals 5. So for this next question, it says TV shows like Friends and Seinfeld are still watched by many around the country. They played rerun episodes for both shows this past Thursday. Friends was viewed by 6.336 times 10 to the 10th fans, while Seinfeld was viewed by 3.52 times 10 to the 8th fans. So we already know that Friends had more because the exponent is larger than Seinfeld. For part A, it says, how many views were there combined? Combined means add between the two shows. So I'm going to take my Friends, which is this number. Oops, that should be to the 10th. And add it, because combine means add, to the amount viewed by Seinfeld. Now from here it says express your answer in scientific notation. So this is where I'm going to hit second, DRG, and make sure I have it over in scientific notation. I'm going to type it into the calculator exactly how I see it, include those parentheses, and my answer is 6.3712 times 10 to the 10th power. Now for the second part, it does say how many times larger. How many times larger is a division problem, is the number of Friends viewers that compared to the number of Seinfeld viewers. Express your answer in standard form. So this is where I want my regular number. I'm going to hit second DRG and go back to the flow mode, since I'm already in scientific notation. Now with this, you need to make sure you're definitely using your parentheses. So 6.336 times 10 to the 10, divide by 3.5, I don't know what happened, sorry. 3.52 times 10 to the 8th power. I'm going to type that in exactly how I see it. And once I type that into the calculator, I'm going to get 180. So it is 180 times larger. Now for the next one, it says solve the following system of equations algebraically for both x and y. So when I look at this, I'll see that my top equation is in standard form, which is a combination of x and y's on the same side, while my bottom one is in slope-intercept form where the y is isolated. Now once I see that the y is isolated, I know to use substitution. So I'm going to start off by writing down my one that's in standard form and that is not isolated for either x equals or y equals. Now from here, I see that my y is really equal to a negative 3x minus 4. So I'm going to bring down my 4x plus 2, but my y value is really negative 3x minus 4, so I replace it or substitute it with that expression. Bring down my equal sign, bring down my 10. Now from here, I'm going to bring down my 4x and distribute out the 2. So I get negative 6x, I get minus 8 equals 10. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to combine like terms. So I have my 4x and my negative 6x, which is a negative 2x minus 8 equals 10. And from here, I'm just solving a two-step equation. So I'm going to add over that 8. I get negative 2x equals 18. Divide out by negative 2. And x is equal to negative 9. So I have my x value. I'm going to go back and write my y value now, or solve for my y value. So if I look at these two equations, my bottom equation is already in the terms of y equals. So me personally, I think it's just easier to use that equation in order to solve for y. So negative 3, we just said x is really negative 9. So I'm replacing that with a negative 9 and hit minus and bring down my minus 4. So when I type that into the calculator, negative 3 times negative 9 minus 4, we could do it all at once. We're going to get y is equal to 23. So my x value is negative 9, my y value is 23. I can write it as a point because technically I'm looking for a point of intersection. And lastly, for this video and the first half of the part 2s, we have find the volume of the cylinder. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to look at my reference sheet. I'm looking for volume, I'm looking for a cylinder, and I'm going to write down volume equals pi r squared times h. Now I'm going to keep my pi. My radius is right here. So I'm going to replace that with a 2 squared multiplied by my height, which was from base to base, this long piece right here, which is a 6. Now from here, I'm going to type that into the calculator exactly how I see it. Volume equals pi times parentheses 2 squared times h, which is my height. I'm going to have 75.3982239. It says round to the nearest tenth, which is that first spot after the decimal. I'm looking at the 9. 9 is greater than 5. So I'm going to bump that 3 up to a 4. And I have 75.4 feet to the third power. Thank you.